Hello everybody. Tonight for dinner we are having beef stew. So I have a lot of stew meat here. I have some flour with some of the Stone Mill steak and chop seasoning, a little bit of onion powder and salt and pepper, and it's all kind of mixed in. I know I'm kind of standing in the light. I got some stuff kind of ready. I got some potatoes and an onion, some carrots that's going to go in, some peas that are going to go in. They are frozen, but they'll thaw right out. Can of tomatoes. Over here in this bowl, I have some beef stock, Worcestershire sauce, and some Dijon mustard. And we're just going to kind of let that sit. And I'm going to use my pressure cooker tonight. And it does have a browning feature, but I'm going to actually brown it on the stove because I have the time and I have more space that way and I can do it quicker. So I'm just going to dredge all of this meat right in the flour, put it in a skillet on hot, brown it up, and then put it right into the pressure cooker. Then we will do the onion real quick. We'll cook that right on the stove, and we will also add that into the pressure cooker along with that like beef broth, and then we will let it cook, and then 20 minutes later we'll add the vegetables. So I still need to peel the potatoes, and I am also making these cheddar biscuits. I was going to put them on top, but I kind of decided against that, and I just have a cup of cheese out here for those. So that is what's going on in my kitchen tonight. I've got to get busy. Let's brown up the stew meat. Okay, so I had just kind of browned up some of that stew meat. I have my pressure cooker over here with my, my pot inside. I'm going to start adding a bunch of this stew meat right in the pressure cooker. So in the same skillet, I have an onion and some garlic. I'm just sauteing that up for just a minute, getting all those like juicy little bits off the bottom. And they will go right into the pressure cooker as well. So while we're waiting on those onions, I'm going to add a can of diced tomatoes right in. Then I'm going to add the sauce that we made. Okay, so now I'm grabbing some of those onions and putting them right in. Onions and garlic, it just smells so good already. There we go. And now I'm just going to give it a stir. So let's get a wooden spoon. I'm going to stir it all up. It looks beautiful already. Yum. Beef stew is one of my favorites. Okay, so we're going to put the lid on this, and then I'm going to get it going. So the pressure built up. We have 20 minutes, and I'm going to get my vegetables ready now. Okay, so my vegetables are ready. Potatoes are cut up. Carrots are cut up. We still have the peas out. I decided just to make one box of the cheddar herb biscuits because the kids want that taco dinner that we had on Super Bowl Sunday. Today is Monday, just in case you're wondering. And they're going to have leftovers. So I think one box of these biscuits are enough. And everything else is ready. So right now we have 14 minutes left on the beef stew that's already in the pressure cooker. Once that's done, we'll put these back in. We'll open it up. We'll put these vegetables in. I'll start the biscuits. And I was going to make, I know some of you guys might have noticed I had a cauliflower out. I was going to make like some roasted cauliflower or something because it just sounded good to me. But I think we got enough veggies in here today. I'm just skipping that. But also some sweet potatoes instead of white potatoes would be good. A parsnip, which is like a carrot, the little spicy carrot, if you will, would be good in this recipe. But, really, really simple. And when Scott and I had the big garden, it was so nice because we grew everything that you would see here. We grew our own carrots, our own potatoes, and our own peas. And so it was just so rewarding. I can't wait to get back to that. But you could totally use whatever vegetables are in season for your beef stew. You can mix it up. You can add turnips. You can add parsnips. You can add sweet potatoes. You can add red potatoes. Just let your imagination go wild. Okay, so we have to release the steam. Use a fork if you're scared to do it. And move it away from that corner. Or that cabinet right there. Okay, so here it is. And it's cooked really well. Now I'm going to add the vegetables, build up the steam again, and only cook it for about half the time, and it will be ready. See, doesn't that look good already? So I'm going to put the lid back on, build up the steam, and start again. But it won't take that long. We're about done. So I need to close it to there, and we will cancel it out, and we'll do meat, and we'll just leave it like that, and it will start building up steam right there on its own. Okay, so our dinner is done. Look at this beef stew. Tell me this isn't something you would love to eat. I mean, it's just amazing. I've already had a couple bites. The potatoes are fork tender. I had it in for about an extra 20 minutes. I added 5 more minutes to it just to make sure everything would get done. It's got a warm feature. Even with the lid off, it will still keep warm for you. So that's great, especially if you have like a game or you know, your husband's eating at one time, your kids are eating at another time, or whatever. That's what's really nice, is the warm feature. I got the biscuits made, and these are just the drop biscuits. Then you melt butter and put like their little like seasoning pack over them. They're so good. I hadn't tried this brand. I've tried the Red Lobster, so hopefully they're good. I shouldn't say that. So I'm gonna plate it up and get ready to eat because I am starving. Okay, so here is dinner. So we have the delicious, hearty, comforting, healthy beef stew. We made it in the pressure cooker. I do believe I have a recipe, at least on my blog, if not on YouTube, for just traditional beef stew made in the oven. You want to cook it low and slow, so you want to cook it, you know, in the oven at a very low temperature, probably around 300, 350, and then cook it for a long time, and that meat will break down and become tender. I have the little biscuit that I made to go with it. And before anybody asks, these plates and bowls are from World Market. I absolutely fell in love with them, and you know, usually somebody asks. So that is our dinner tonight. I hope you enjoyed watching me make it. It's time to go eat. Hello everybody. So for dinner tonight, we are having the prosciutto wrapped chicken and asparagus in a creamy sauce with basil pesto. It's just a very easy one skillet, delicious dinner. It really is. And for me, I usually make my own basil pesto, but we're in winter right now. I don't have a big, you know, basil plant, so I went ahead and bought some, and you're going to need some heavy whipping cream. I have this recipe on my blog already, and I will try to link it in. So what we're going to do basically is we're going to take these chicken breasts. Now, I took 3 chicken breasts and cut them in half. That's because you know, they cook up faster, and this is still like more than enough for my family tonight. So what we do is we dip it into the flour. We just drudge it, basically, just kind of get a flour dusting on it. We're going to wrap it in prosciutto, and then we're going to put it in a skillet. And we're going to have some olive oil heating up in that skillet, and then I will get the asparagus steaming. We're just using the tips. You can save the stems to make soup if that's something you want to do. And I'm going to have some tomatoes, some little cherry tomatoes. The creamy sauce is so easy to make. It's unbelievable, and I'm going to get busy right now. Okay, so with clean hands, just dredge your chicken in the flour. You just want a light coating, nothing, you know, too heavy. Just get it in there, just like that. And then you're going to take a piece of your prosciutto. Now, I already took a lot of pieces out of the package because, you know, you are working with raw chicken. You definitely do not want, you know, a lot of bacteria and stuff crossing over. So just be careful. Wrap the prosciutto right around the chicken and set it back on your tray. And I am using plastic just because it's easier to clean. I've seen a lot of chefs in cooking school use wood for chicken and meats and different fishes, I guess, if you will. And this piece tore. But I just don't like that. It's porous, and I'm scared I'll have germs in it and everything. So let's move the torn piece. Wrap another. Prosciutto is a ham, basically. It's a cured ham. It is absolutely delicious, and I could eat it every single day. You find it up in like the specialty areas in Walmart, like up by the deli. This is definitely a more spring-like dinner, but we'll have it right now because it just sounded good, and I was trying to figure out something for dinner and going through my blog, trying to pick something out that we hadn't had in a while, and I came across this recipe and hadn't had it, and it's so good. And I love that I found the pesto already made, which makes life so much easier. But it's really easy to make the pesto, so don't be scared if you want to make it fresh in the spring. It's really, really easy. I'm going to take another piece and wrap it around. Depending on how big your chicken breasts are, you could totally use 2 pieces if you wanted, but 1 piece is generally enough. Alright, on to the next. And I really like cutting the breast in half, especially if they're big. It just makes them cook up a lot faster, and people don't always want a huge piece of chicken, so sometimes it's just fine to cut them in half. You'll be amazed at how much people really don't eat when you make less. And we are all about leftovers here, but we really need to tone it down on a lot of the meats. I love vegetables, so I assume I could do a plant-based diet, but I do like chicken. I do like a good steak. I want to feel better. That's what I want. And I think some of my own lifestyle choices on what I eat and what I put in my body has definitely been contributing to me not having a ton of energy, even though you would think I would have energy out the ears because of all the caffeine I have. But I just feel so drained by the end of the day. And I'm really working to change that, even though I live with a bunch of meat eaters that would probably go into shock if I tried to serve them too many meatless dinners. But only one can hope, right? I mean, I don't know. A few extra a week might not be a bad idea. And I have still some of that piece that tore, so I'm just going to kind of wrap it around. And now I'm going to wash my hands really, really well. And I am going to start heating up some olive oil on the stove. So we got our chicken breast all wrapped up. And now I'm going to go clean up. So I have my asparagus spears that I clean the asparagus, just lightly ran it under water, and just cut off the tops. I have them in this microwave safe bowl with, just a couple tablespoons of water. I'm going to put a lid on it. Now you can steam it on the stove, which is the way my recipe calls for. But I'm just going to steam these like I would the broccoli in the microwave, super fast and easy. And I'm also going to cut up my tomatoes now. Okay, so I just turned the chicken. You see how the prosciutto just kind of binds to itself? It works out really well that way, and you don't want to overcrowd it too much. I have a large skillet here. The olive oil in the bottom, and very, very, very simple. Okay, so in this bowl, I have about a cup of heavy cream and about 1/4 of a cup of the basil pesto. Now, I think their original recipe calls for 1/3 of a cup of heavy cream. I like it a little more saucy, if you will. So, I have that mixed up and ready. I have some tomatoes cut up and ready. The asparagus has steamed and it is ready. So, we're just going to wait on our chicken to cook all the way through. So, speaking of the asparagus, I have shocked it. So, that means I steamed it for a couple of minutes. Drained it. I because I had a little bit of water in this bowl. You normally wouldn't have to drain it if you are steaming it on the stove. And then I shocked it with a bunch of cold water. I had some ice in here, but it has melted. You don't want your asparagus to turn to mush, and you don't want it to be a really ugly color. And it's important, since it's going in that hot skillet, that you just go ahead and get the cooking stopped. And then, you know, it will start back up just a little bit when you put it back in the skillet. Okay, so the chicken is basically done. I'm going to pour over this cream and pesto mixture right in. And now I'm going to add, sorry about the steam. I'm going to add in my tomatoes and asparagus as well. Okay, is that not like beautiful already? You guys, this is an amazing dish. And again, I usually make it in the summer when asparagus is, you know, big and beautiful, and the tomatoes are delicious. But you can see we are having this during winter. And I'm just serving it up with some rustic bread, maybe some honey butter, and that is it. So what I need to do now, just put the lid back on, bring it to a boil, and give it about, I don't know, about 6 or 7 minutes, and your dinner is done. I love this dinner. It's so delicious. And I know the heavy cream isn't the best. You might want to use half and half if that's your thing. But I figure since we are making this recipe, we might as well make it true to form. And true to form is heavy cream. So, yeah, that's what I got, and, you know, ready for dinner tonight. And now I'm going to get the bread ready, get the plates out, and get ready and eat dinner. Okay, so dinner is done. I've got it plated up here. It is the prosciutto wrapped chicken. I know you can't see the prosciutto because of the sauce. With the asparagus and tomatoes, the heavy cream, and the basil pesto. My kids don't like tomatoes, so theirs don't have tomatoes, but mine and Scott's will. And I'm serving it with this rustic bread and some honey butter. So I think that is it. That is our dinner tonight. I'm actually excited about this dinner. It's one of my favorites. A delicious piece of crusty bread to go with it. That is amazing tonight. That is our dinner. I hope you guys try this recipe. I'll link it in. If I forget, let me know, and I will definitely shoot the link over to you because it is that good of a recipe. Don't hesitate to try it, you guys. Hello, everybody. For dinner tonight, we are having something we have quite often. It is the smoked sausage with potatoes, green beans, and onions all in one pot. You kind of cook it in stages, at least I do. You cook the sausage first, pull it out, you add in your potatoes, or you could do it vice versa. It doesn't really matter. The potatoes do take longer. I just think it tastes better when they've been flavored with some of the drippings from browning up the sausage. And, you know, obviously you get your onion chopped up and put in. And then last minute, I just take a can of Italian green beans. And I like them seasoned. It just adds another dimension of flavor. I drain it. Make sure you drain it. And then I add it in. I normally serve it with cornbread. And I've made cornbread from scratch quite a few times. It's very easy. But honestly, this is such an easy cornbread mix to use. My family loves it, and that's what I am making. So last night, it was a 1 skillet meal. Tonight, it's another 1 skillet meal. So I'm going to get started on this. Very simple. I've already shared this recipe, so I'm not going to take you through every, you know, little bit of process that it takes to make it, but I'll kind of, you know, update you here and there. So I've got to get cooking. Hello, everybody. For dinner tonight, we are doing the stuffing with the pork chops on top. And I'm putting it in this casserole. The oven will do most of the work. I did chop up an onion just now and added some butter to my skillet. This is for the stuffing. Sometimes I add cranberries, you know, to the mixture, but I'm not tonight. I did add a little bit of ground sage. I'm not huge on celery, but I like sage a little bit in my dressing. And so in just a minute, I'm going to add a couple cups of chicken stock, bring it to a boil, and then pour this right over the dressing. Okay, so it's ready to go into the oven. I just put the pork chops right on top of the stuffing, and in it goes. Okay, so the pork chops and stuffing is done. I poured a little bit of the chicken gravy over the pork chops just to keep them moist. Over here, we have some carrots, some smashed potatoes, and a little more gravy. That is our dinner tonight. I'm going to get it plated up. Okay, so here is dinner. Very, very simple. Jackson didn't want a lot of stuffing. Zane did. So 2 different plates, same dinner, time to eat. So Scott brought home dinner tonight. Look how good that looks, you guys. That makes me very, very happy. We're going to pile up in front of the TV. He got soup. I got some clear broth, sharing it with Zane. We got a 4 Seasons row. We got a California row. This is like a little starter row for Zane. And I'm not sure if he likes it, but I kind of spilled some soy sauce. But that is our dinner tonight, and it looks amazing.
Some salmon and some tunigiri.
Yum, yum, yum. Hello, everybody. Tonight for dinner, it is Valentine's Day. We've been eating out last couple of nights, so I decided to stay in and cook tonight. I made this big, beautiful spiral cut ham, very easy in the oven. Mashed potatoes, carrots, mac and cheese, some baked beans, and some bread. I plan on this being like for 2 nights. I'm not cooking tomorrow, but this is our dinner tonight. I didn't take you through it. It was just very simple. I followed the instructions that came with the ham, whipped up some sides and some little croissant rolls, and everybody can just kind of serve themselves. So my job is done. Dinner is served. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I will be back later on Monday evening with a new day in the life vlog. I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks again for watching. Please give me a thumbs up and don't forget to get subscribed.